Matt Bernier for RacingPicks.com, taking a look at three selections for Saturday, October the 31st, 2020, a trifecta for Halloween Saturday. I get it. We're all deep into the pre-entries for the Breeders' Cup World Championships coming up next Friday and Saturday down in Keeneland. If you're curious about a very early look, head on over to RacingPicks.com. Myself and my buddy Mike Mutnansky, we do a very early look at some horses to maybe think about as you're going through your pre-entries and your past performances for the Breeders' Cup. So while we're all deeply involved in that, there is still racing going on, and it's opening day down at Del Mar for their fall meeting, the Bing Crosby meet. Let's quickly take a look at three selections, three horses that maybe you want to use, maybe you want to fade, maybe you want to build wagers around. It's whatever you want to do with them, but they're three horses I'm interested in, and I plan on playing, price pending. Let's start off with race number 3. It's a Calbred maiden special weight affair going a mile on the turf course. I went with the number 2 in here. That's One Fast Bro for Shelby Ruiz. This is a horse 3 starts back. You have to go back to September of last year. I actually thought he ran quite well, given the fact that he clipped heels, nearly fell down, and still somehow was involved in deep stretch. Now, he didn't finish all that well. He finished 5th, beating almost 6 lengths. But the fact of the matter is, when he clipped heels, you wouldn't hold that against any horse at any point. But an early 2-year-old at that stage, I kind of felt like it was a pretty sneaky good effort. He came back in his next start. He actually loomed up, looked like he was going to get the job done, and flattened out down the lane. He was then sidelined for nearly a year. And he came back in a 5.5 furlong turf sprint out at Santa Anita earlier this month. Showed some really big speed in a race that had plenty of it signed on and stuck around pretty gamely at a distance that I think is too short. Now we stretch him back out to a mile. I think this is going to suit him much, much better. He's 3-1 on the morning line. I like the number 2, One Fast Bro, in the third at Del Mar on Saturday. Let's move on to race number 4. This is going to be my play of the day on Saturday. 6 furlongs. These are $32,000 claimers. You know, at one time in his career, Captain Scotty, it looked like the number 3 horse was destined for bigger and better things. One thing has led to another. He couldn't get through different conditions. They tried him again in graded stakes races. Long-winded way of saying he has ended up here in the sort of mid-level claiming company, and he still has wicked speed. And unfortunately for him in his most recent start, he had to deal with someone hounding him throughout the fractions. According to Timeform US, the pace ratings were all color-coded red, meaning he was going an unbelievably fast pace. And yes, there is speed drawn just to his outside, And yes, Lionite, the horse who defeated him in that most recent run down at Santa Anita, is also entered here. But I think Captain Scotty can clear off to the front on Saturday afternoon and say, come and catch me. I think he's dangerous in a spot like this. I know he's 0 for 3 at Del Mar, but he's hit the board a couple of occasions. 7-2 on the morning line. The number 3, Captain Scotty, is my play of the day on Saturday. And we'll wrap things up with a little bit of stakes action. We're going to be going a mile on the turf course. Restricted stakes company for fillies and mares. It's the Catherine Crosby. There's plenty of speed in this race, and I understand it may be a little bit of a peculiar move for Kahira. The number 7 goes out for Bob Baffert's barn. Baffert on turf, to me, is almost universally a red flag. So maybe I'm talking myself out of this as I'm speaking about it here in this video. But the filly has shown enough ability to make me think that she can do a little bit of anything from a tactical standpoint, where many of these girls I feel like are need the lead types. Kahira at least showed at one stage in her career that she was comfortable sitting off of a target. Now, she's stretching out and moving over to the grass, which typically has slower paces. So there's a real scenario, despite the fact that I just said she can sit off of a target, she may find herself on the lead simply because of that. Stretching out, going from dirt to turf, she may just be faster than the other girls early on. From a pedigree standpoint, Cairo Prince is about 11% with his turf route runners. Most of the siblings really have flailed on grass, with the exception of one in particular, a horse called Storm and Lion, who was 2 for 4 lifetime and 3 for 4 on turf overall in the exacta. So there's a little bit there. Enough for me to believe that she's arguably the best horse in the race from a talent standpoint. If the pace situation is not out of control, and even if it is, if those other girls want to go, again, she's shown that ability to sit and still be able to produce a bid. I'm most concerned about the distance. I'm not entirely sold on the mile for her, but at the same time, she's 5-1 on the morning line, and she doesn't face any world beaters in here. Give me the number 7, Kahira, in her turf debut for Bob Baffert and Company, race number 7. That's the Catherine Crosby on opening day down at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. Again, stay tuned to racingpicks.com. It's free to sign up. All you need to do, enter your email address. Boom, you're in. You get free content throughout the week from myself, Andrew Champagne, among others. And again, be sure to check out that early look Now that we have the pre-entries fully out, we can do a little bit of a sharper dive. But an early look with my buddy Mike Mutnansky from Sports Radio WEEI in Boston. You can find that video looking ahead to the Breeders' Cup World Championships over on racingpicks.com.